All right, so today we're looking at the Florida housing market.
Okay.
And for this one, we've got some really interesting data from andresvieira and rauldiaz.
Mm-hmm.
They're the team leaders over at Miami Real Group.
Oh, cool.
And as per andresvieira, Miami is the best place on earth.
All right.
So we're going to see if the data agrees with him.
Okay.
But, you know, there's so much talk about rising costs and mortgage rates and all that.
Yeah.
Is Florida really still a good place to buy?
Well, it's interesting because, you know, you hear all this stuff about mortgage rates and insurance going up, but people are still moving to Florida.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, look at the number. We're talking almost 500,000 new residents.
Wow.
Just between 2023 and 2024.
That's a lot of people.
It is.
That's a lot of new neighbors.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make the market like super competitive for buyers?
You would think, right.
Yeah.
But actually, that population growth is one of the things that's helping to keep the market balanced.
Oh, interesting.
But there are some signs that things might be shifting a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, in favor of buyers.
Okay, so what kind of signs are we seeing?
Inventory.
Okay.
There's a lot more homes for sale now.
Like how much more?
Well, in November 2024 alone, inventory jumped by 22.2%.
Wow.
So that means more options for buyers and potentially more room for negotiation.
Okay, so more choices for buyers.
Yeah.
Less pressure to just like jump on something.
Exactly.
Does that mean we're going to see prices dropping?
Well, it's possible. I mean, right now, the median home price in Florida is about $408,400.
Okay.
Which is lower than the national average.
Right.
But, you know, we did see a slight price increase year over year. In November, it was 0.9%.
Okay.
But with this inventory growing, prices could stabilize or even drop a bit.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's kind of good news for buyers.
It could be.
Especially if...
and on top of that.
Realtor.com,
the
analyst Hannah Jones, she's actually predicting that mortgage rates are going to be lower in 2025.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere between like 6.4 and 6.6%.
Okay.
So if that happens, wouldn't that bring even more buyers into the market?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lower mortgage rates make homes more affordable.
Right.
Which could lead to more competition.
It's a constant like push and pull.
It is.
Between buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
But we can't forget about affordability in general.
Yeah.
I mean, insurance costs are still a huge issue in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Huge. It's a major hurdle for a lot of people. Those high insurance costs are driven by a couple of things.
Like what?
Well, inflation, of course.
Right.
But also the risk of natural disasters, particularly hurricanes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So insurance companies are having to pay out more in claims.
Right.
And so they pass those costs on to homeowners.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's important to remember that Florida is a big state.
It is.
And things are different.
Oh, for sure.
Depending on what region you're in.
Definitely.
You know, like Miami, prices are really high. Homes are staying on the market longer.
Right.
Jacksonville, sales are booming.
Yep.
Median prices are lower.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the Tampa Bay area, St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Which is known for like a really fast-paced market.
Fast-paced, yeah.
So.
Lots of buyer demand.
Yeah, very diverse.
It is.
Not one size fits all.
Not at all.
Well, Hannah Jones actually made a really interesting point about this.
Yeah.
She said that Florida is actually in a good spot to handle this population growth because of the expanding inventory we talked about.
Right.
But she also said that if the population keeps growing faster than the available housing, we're going to see prices climb again.
So it's all about balance.
Yeah, finding that balance.
Okay, so for someone who's thinking about buying in Florida right now, what would you tell them? Well, I mean, there are definitely opportunities and challenges to consider.
Right.
I mean, some experts are optimistic.
Right.
They think 2025 will be good for buyers,
Okay.
especially if the inventory keeps rising
Yes.
and those mortgage rates drop like they're predicting.
Right.
But some are more cautious. They're worried about the affordability challenges, especially those insurance costs.
Yeah, no, those are definitely a factor.
For sure.
It is interesting, though. Miami and Orlando are both ranked
Oh, yeah.
in Realtor.com's top 10 housing markets for 2025.
Well, Florida still have that allure.
It does.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year.
Yeah.
A lot of moving parts.
It is.
We'll see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, big thanks to andresvieira and rauldiaz from Miami Real Group
Those guys.
for all this great information.
Yeah.
And of course, as per andresvieira, Miami is the best place on earth.
Of course.
So to wrap things up, here's something I want you to think about.
Right.
So we talked about affordability, inventory, mortgage rates.
Right.
But what about the long-term effects of sea level rise and these increasingly intense hurricane seasons?
Interesting.
How is that going to impact coastal communities?
Especially in Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really good point.
So something to think about.
Yeah, definitely something to consider.
As you weigh your options.
For sure.
All right. Well, that's it for today.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.